Here is Mike DeWine. We should say that in Ohio, they have now said that teachers are no longer required to have the 700 hours worth of training that they require of police officers to carry a weapon in schools. So how many hours have they been able to reduce from this requirement? The 700 hours is onerous. I mean, obviously these got
to grade papers and stuff.
These teachers are they're not going on. They're not pursuing criminals. So did they drop it down to 650 hours? Did they drop it down to 600 hours, or 550 hours, or maybe it was they dropped it down to 400 hours, or maybe it was 300 hours, or 200 hours of training with a weapon that you will have in a room full of kids, and in the event that somebody comes in there with probably weapons that are more high powered than you, 200 hours of training is what you're going to need so that you can safely feel confident that you can grab that gun and fire at this perpetrator. Well, what about 100 hours? 100 hours, or maybe it's 70 hours. It actually ends up being 24 hours.
There by Representative Hall that today Ohio is quote unquote doing something. Of course, that goes back to what was said after the Dayton shooting when there were members of the crowd that said quote unquote do something. Do you feel that what you're doing today is exactly what those people intended you to do?
I don't know. My job is to try to do things, and we have done. I outlined them for you a moment ago. We have done a number of different things. What I didn't mention, for example, another one that we have done without legislation. Another thing that we have done is by talking to local law enforcement, we've gone from about 10% of the outstanding warrants that are entered into the national database to 85% now.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
Wow. We've put almost all of the outstanding warrants into the database that would inhibit people from getting guns.
Let's arm those people too. The quants, the guys inputting the data.
In case anyone wants to alter it.
I wonder if when parents of children slaughtered in a mass shooting event were saying do something, they were thinking like, can you please require enormously less training for our teachers so they can have guns in the classroom too?
It's just a great new way to demonize teachers in this country. So when the next mass shooting at a school inevitably happens, and the teacher doesn't effectively gun down the shooter, take him out point blank in the center of the forehead, first shot. Hey, what were you doing in your training? What were you doing? What are teacher unions for anyway, honestly? I mean, they're protecting teachers that don't even know how to assassinate a school shooter, and we're expected to keep funding them with our tax dollars? Time to cut teacher salaries.
Where are we going to see, where are the teachers going to be hiding these guns in the classroom? Are they going to keep it in the drawers? They're going to keep the drawers locked, right? I mean, presumably it'd be like in a drawer locked. And I'm sure that'll be a very safe place for the guns.
Well, I got some recommendations here.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Quite true, right.
Yeah. Put a knife in a file folder, some nunchucks behind the water cooler.
Put it up in the...
Ceiling tiles are great for hiding stuff. I used to hide stuff in ceiling tiles in my basement in high school.
Under the floorboards. Or maybe you could just, to keep it with the decor of the school, hide it in some sort of stuffed animal or like a big pink piggy bank.
That Eric Adams video, like where all the contraband is hidden, like in a doll's back or like a bureau.
It is incredible how seamlessly they are shifting the focus from, and they tried it on the first go around with Uvalde. Though the teacher left the door open with the rock. That wasn't true. Now, though, it's preemptive. So when the teachers don't prevent this, it's not on cops being cowards. It's not on us Republicans for doing nothing on allowing weapons of war in this country.
Yeah.
It's on the teachers, and we've always hated them anyway.
Well, what's implicit in that is that all you need is for the teachers to be able to suppress until the heroes of the cops get there. We all know what happens when the cops get there.
Exactly. Katie Sheppy, I'm a former high school teacher, and one of the unsettling notes about the active shooter drills. In our staff training on these drills, we had to limit the info we gave to students about lockdown procedures and sheltering, since the shooter is likely to be one of the students. Do people follow that? In other words,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
in other words, when you do a lockdown procedure and the students have the ability to see what the teachers are
Great
doing,
point.
when one of those students comes back, like that kid who in Uvalde, who had gone through these lockdown procedures, they know the game plan. They know the game plan.
Perverse.
Yeah, what happens when there's a substitute teacher in?
Give them body armor.
They're getting paid half or whatever. They're getting paid by the day. Maybe they just need like 1 or 2 hours of training.
They can use like the knives. They
That's
can
what the
throw
nunchucks in the ceiling are for,
Exactly.
right? Yeah, got it.